There's some news coming out from Adam Schefter, the ESPN insider, that Diontae Johnson and Minkah Fitzpatrick got into a heated argument in the locker room. So, Diontae Johnson, he obviously had some on-field frustration in Sunday's game against the Cleveland Browns, and apparently it continued after the game in the Pittsburgh Steelers locker room, where he got into a heated argument with teammate Minkah Fitzpatrick before Cameron Heyward and TJ Watt had to break up the altercation, and then they delivered a message that the team needed to stick together. And these sources are being told to ESPN. So, the order was eventually restored in the Steelers' locker room, but the argument between two of the team's star players left a mark going forward on the Steelers, who fired the offensive coordinator, Matt Canada, 2 days later. So, it's not necessarily been revealed what was said in the locker room, but it was told to ESPN that the argument and the spat happened. So the Pittsburgh Steelers' on and off the field performance in the 13-10 loss was clear tipping point for the organization and the team in general, leading to Steelers to make their first in-season coaching change at any position since 1941. And Matt Canada was the person who had to get fired because of it. After another kind of bad performance and the outburst from Diontae Johnson, it became apparent that the Pittsburgh Steelers need to make a move, and the move happened. Johnson, who had just 2 catches against the Cleveland Browns, on the sidelines whenever he was coming off the field or even after a play, just looking at his reaction and his face and his actions, he was visibly upset. And on the sideline during the game, he engaged in an animated conversation, ESPN reports, with also Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin. But the heated words obviously didn't stop there. One source, it was written in the article, told ESPN that Johnson, the Steelers' second leading receiver and apparently number 1 wide receiver on the team in terms of like targets and stuff of that nature, other than based off his injuries because his targets kind of went down because of that, he continued chirping at the coaches all the way into the locker room. And that's where Fitzpatrick, the 3-time first-team All-Pro, began arguing with Diontae Johnson. The words between Diontae Johnson and Fitzpatrick, it became heated. Another source told ESPN, as written in the article, before Cameron Heyward, the captain of the team, and TJ Watt had to intervene and prevent the situation from getting any worse. It was written that Cameron Heyward and Watt had to calm everyone down, and then Mike Tomlin addressed the situation and from the team. And sources around the team believe the Steelers have been able to move on, and the incident has not carried over so far in this week's preparation for tomorrow's game against the Cincinnati Bengals. But it's kind of interesting because this story is coming out on a Saturday. The day right before the game against the Bengals. So I don't know who leaked the story to ESPN or why the story didn't come out earlier, but this just came out under an hour ago. So I just want to break this news to you. But the argument also is an example of the effect that the Steelers' struggling offense is having on the team and having on the tempers being flared by the players and the emotions that took over for the Steelers players. You see continuously George Pickens being upset. Diontae Johnson also being upset. The comments Najee Harris also had after the game. So you've seen all this struggling offense and the Steelers not being able to put up points, having all these effects on the team. And that's probably why the Steelers had to make a move. All these tempers are flaring and something had to be done to kind of switch the tempers and kind of calm the team down and calm the flares from these players down and kind of get them under control. And that's what had to be done. Matt Canada had to be fired because of it. Everyone starts arguing because the offense can't get anything going. So this is what happened. This is the news that happened today and was released. This happened obviously after the game for the Cleveland, but it was just breaking news and released today. And for the rest of the season, the new offense coordinator will now be running backs coach Eddie Faulkner, while the primary game day caller will be quarterbacks coach Mike Sullivan. Kenny Pickett, he was talking about the situation of Matt Canada getting fired, and he said, "You hate to see it. You don't want to see one of your coaches lose their job. We all got to be better." And that is right. Everyone has to be better. It's not just Matt Canada's fault. Everyone has to be better. Most of the blame does go on Matt Canada because his situational play calling has not been good. He just doesn't know when to call certain plays at certain times and always calls the wrong play in certain situations, but it's just not all on him. Most of it is on him, but a lot of it is also on Kenny Pickett not being a good quarterback so far this season and not getting the job done, missing wide open targets, overthrowing guys, underthrowing guys, and being off target. He also needs to get better. And also the wide receivers need to get better as well. Being on time with their routes, not running the wrong routes, and having that connection with the quarterback where you know what's going to go on based off what the secondary and what the defense is playing, and not running a bad situational route at the wrong time, which we've seen last week. It was reported that maybe Diontae Johnson ran the wrong route, but even on social media, someone called him out in a breakdown saying that he ran the wrong route at the end of the game. You know that route where Kenny Pickett just threw it to no one and you're wondering who did he throw it to? It was kind of reported that Diontae Johnson ran the wrong route, but Diontae Johnson responded to the analysis person saying, "You have no idea what you're talking about. I ran the right route." So he had to even respond, kind of defending himself that he did not run the wrong route, that Kenny Pickett just threw it and he didn't know what the route was. So tempers were flaring and something was done about it. The Steelers' offense has struggled through Canada's tenure so far as a coordinator, as they never eclipsed 400 yards of offense in his 45-game career with the Steelers as the coordinator, including the playoffs. The 31 other teams hit that benchmark at least 4 times each in that stretch. So you look at the Steelers, they've been really bad on offense since Canada took over, and now the Pittsburgh Steelers this season are 6-4, but they have a negative point differential of -29 and has been outgained in every single game this season. The Steelers ranked 28th in points per game, 16.6, and 28th in offensive yards per game as well, 280.1, and 30th in passing yards per game with 170. The Steelers need to turn to a steady voice with Mike Tomlin, Eddie Faulkner, and also Mike Sullivan, and hopefully this offense is able to get turned around and everyone is able to have fun again and start winning football games and turn this football team around and this offense. The fans deserve better. We've been sticking it through for 3+ years, even like 4+ years, because that 1 year with Randy Fichtner, we've been sticking it and gunning it out for so long that we are waiting for this offense to break out, have a good game, put together multiple stretches of good games, over 400 yards. We need this offense to turn around. Our defense has been gutting it through, getting stop after stop, keeping this team in the game. It's only going to go on for so much longer that this defense has to stick up. At some point, they're going to have a tipping point. They're going to start breaking. They're going to start laying up points, and then we're screwed. So this offense need to turn things around and help their defense out and help their players out. The players also deserve better as well. We have some top-tier talent on offense, and it's just not getting done, and their talent is being wasted. But with that being said, let me know down in the comments below. How do you feel about the situation about Minkah Fitzpatrick and Diontae Johnson having an argument in the locker room? Do you believe it was necessary? Do you believe it's getting overblown? Or what do you believe, and do you think it's right? Me personally, I understand it. Diontae Johnson arguing with the offensive coaches, and Minkah Fitzpatrick kind of defending the coaches and also speaking up towards Diontae Johnson. I understand it from both perspectives. Diontae Johnson and the playmakers being angry at the coaches, especially the offense when it's not doing anything, but kind of Minkah Fitzpatrick trying to calm down the situation, getting in an argument, and then TJ Watt and Cameron Heyward having to step in. Let me know your thoughts. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below as well if you like Steelers content, analysis, and reports. like the video, turn on post notifications down below for the channel as well, so you get notified whenever I post next year's video. I cover everything Steelers, and if you want to stay up to date just with this news just dropping and me covering it right away, make sure you turn on notifications for the channel. I also do game breakdowns, reactions, and everything like that. So, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.